I welcome you guys back to my next video, which is course 202. I need you to understand today how to go within. I need you to understand that when you're going within, you're really going never without. I need you to understand what that means. I need you to understand that when you're going inside your body. I need you to understand that it's never about guts and it's never about donors and your intestines and all of that. I need you to understand what going inside means. I need you to understand when you're going inside, which is inside of your body, you'll find what you're looking for. And when you look inside, you'll find greatness. Because it's about looking inside into yourself, for something greater than you, to make sure that when you look inside, you're never relying on other people to solve your problems. You have to understand, when you look inside, you'll go and find your solutions. You understand? Because that's what going within means. I mean, when you need encouragement, you go within for it. You go within and encourage yourself. I mean, when you need something from the outside world, you're going within. You're going inside for it. I mean, whatever you need, you have it inside of you right now. I mean, you need a woman or a man, you have it inside of you right now. I mean, whatever you're looking for, you have it inside. I promise you that it's all about inside rather than outside. I need you to understand that those people who go inside are the ones living in the moment. I need you to understand that when you're going inside, you'll never lack anything. You'll never be a person who's looking in the outside world for scraps of pleasures and anything to solve your problems and anything to help you. You have to understand, you're just going within. You have to understand that Jesus never read a book in life. You have to understand that Jesus really understands that everything that Jesus needs is inside. So Jesus learns to really lift himself from the within. Realize that Jesus lifts Jesus from within. You have to understand that Jesus is a person who always looks inside and makes sure, no matter what, that he's always growing and leading people. You understand? So you will be a person who is like Jesus, because guess what? Jesus is a leader, and you must be a leader also, because when you're looking inside and you're going within, you'll find love, you'll find happiness, you'll find wisdom, you'll find everything that you ever need. You'll find abilities, you'll find talent, you'll find what you're looking for. You just have to write. I promise you, when you're doing a video, you go from within and you do it. You understand? Because what's inside matters more than what's happening. I realize that what's inside matters more than what's happening outside. And to realize that those people who are motivated have motivation from inside. I realize they're never getting motivation from other people. I realize they're motivating themselves on their own. I realize that when you succeed, I realize that nobody else made you successful. You made yourself successful, and because of that, you're looking within for the success that you have today, and you're grateful for what you have because you're looking for within. You're looking inside. You're looking inside for everything that you need. And when you're looking inside, you'll always be happier because you can lose yourself in yourself, and that's the whole point of life, and that's the meaning of life, to lose yourself from within. And when you're looking inside, you always find something to do. You'll find something, you'll realize that now, Danny Milivojevic, you must speak for the next hour, so how are you going to do that? I'll look from within to find you and give you the answers that you're looking for and the solutions that you need to make sure that you guys get what you deserve today for the next hour. So I make sure that I can grow from within, because nobody else is going to grow me today because I'm speaking, and nobody else is going to do that for me. So I have to look from within, and I have to find the words to say from within. You understand? So that's the whole point of the within abbreviation. Because when you're going within, you'll find the words, and you'll find the ideas, and you'll find your emotions, and you'll find your heartbeat. You understand? Because your heartbeat is never in other people. I promise you, you'll find your heartbeat inside of you, and that way you understand, when you're a more positive person, you're going to look within to be more positive. You're going to be looking for anything that you need, and you're going to find it inside of you right now. I realize that inside you have grace. I realize inside you have everything. You have peace and quiet inside. I realize also that if you're poisoning your insides, you'll also be a disruptive person, and you'll be a person of misery, and that is depression. And you should understand, you never poison your temple. I never need you to poison what's inside. Otherwise, you are becoming less healthy in life, and your health is happiness. You have to understand that those people who are vibrant are people who are never ever destroying themselves with drugs and alcohol and pharmaceutical medications, because the doctor's going to say you need 20 pills to feel good. You understand? So never go and believe a doctor that you need 20 pills to feel good. You understand? So be a person who needs no medications in life, because you can see Jesus will never go to a chemist to get himself a cream for something. You understand? I promise you, Jesus will never go and get a pharmaceutical medication or something, or a herb, and Jesus will never ever smoke weed, and Jesus will never ever do drugs and alcohol. You understand? I mean, Jesus will never go to you I realized that Jesus will never go to the nightclub with you to do some cocaine. In a sense, so realize that cocaine will destroy your insides. I realize that drugs will destroy you from the inside out. In a sense, so be a person who's never destroying your insides, and that way you'll have more solutions in life. You have to understand that when I give solutions, I live my talk. I live from within. I live from inside of myself, and I can go and be destiny, who I am, because inside I can find God. I can find everything I am. I can find something bigger than I in life. I can find it within me because I have peace and quiet inside. I realize that I'm always dying to myself, and I'm growing in the process. In a sense, so be a person who understands that when you're growing from the inside out, you'll be a better person. If you're growing from the outside in, I promise you that means you're losing in life. I promise you there is no such thing as growing from the outside in. And you should understand there's nothing out there. I promise you nothing out there is going to give you an idea. I promise you what will give you an idea is inside. And inside is the ideas. I realize I love you, Danny. I realize that no matter what, you be a person who always realizes that you're always a positive person. You always say I love you in terms of your life. You're always saying I love you to yourself. You're saying something much better. You're making sure you're applying information, and you're looking inside for everything that you need. I promise you that way you're going to show up every single day. You're going to look within on how you can really live life. I realize that when something is irritating you, I realize it's because you're looking outside for it. And when you're looking outside for it, I realize that is what you're lacking. I never need you to lack from the outside in. I need you to look inside and never lack. And because you're looking inside, you'll never lack anything that is out there. I realize that when you're looking out there, I realize you always lack what you have. I need you to understand, you go look at what you have more and more. I promise you, you'll grow yourself more and more, and you'll have more of what you need. Understand? Because what you need today is what's inside. I never need you to have what's outside. And you should understand that what's outside never matters, and what's inside matters ultimately, because that's the ultimatum. And what's inside is something much more than what's outside. You have to understand, you be that type of person who's always drawing inspiration from within. You're looking for inspiration, you're looking for anything from within. You're looking for something to solve your problems, you're looking for within. You're looking for something within to solve your problems, because within means you are going to be the one solving your problems. You're going to be the one who's making yourself successful. You're going to be the one who's doing the street performance, and you're living inside. So if you're throwing alcohol and drugs into you, that means your house is destroyed, and your house is now becoming toxic, and you are going to be reacting in a toxic fashion, and you're going to be that toxic molecule which goes to serve everybody else. In a sense, so never be that type of person. I need you to understand that what you have inside of you is going to grow you, and it's going to lift you, and it's going to be able to help you to grow. So be that type of person who's using your emotions all the time, and that way you understand to go within. Because those people who go within understand their emotions. I promise you they understand what their life is about, because they're learning about their life more and more. I promise you when you're learning about your life more and more and about what's going on inside, I promise you never focus on the outside world, you focus on the inside, and that way you're going to grow yourself more and more, and you're working on your inner world. I promise you you're working on your inner world, you're working on something from the inside, and that way you're becoming more in your field. I promise you you're working and you're doing something much greater, you're doing something that's really positive inside, and you're much more worth it. You're much more worth it to understand that what's inside matters. And you'll understand that what's inside is going to grow you. And then you write down everything inside of your journal and inside of your Pokedex, which is your phone, and you write down. Or if you don't have a phone, you go grab yourself an exercise book or a notepad or something electronic or something like a book. You start writing down from the inside. What is your story about? And you start writing about your story, and you just start becoming more dedicated about yourself. And then when you become more dedicated about yourself, you're writing about yourself more and more. I promise you, the more you write about yourself, the more motivated you'll be, and the more inspired you'll be, and the more positivity you will have. I promise you that way, you understand, the more you write about yourself, I promise you the more discipline you have. So be that type of person who has more discipline and more motivation and more encouragement, because to get more encouragement, you have to write about yourself more and more. In a sense, so be that kind of person who's always doing that, and nobody else is going to do that for you. You have to understand to never let others take responsibility for you. You're going to do that for yourself. You understand? Because when you're doing it for yourself, you understand that when somebody gives you a present or something, thank you very much. I realize when you're doing something amazing, you're a person who's always much better than yesterday. You're doing something and you're receiving what's given. I mean, when somebody gives you a nice bottle, a beautiful water bottle because you never brought some water, I promise you that's inspiring. So be that kind of person who goes and brings people water. I promise you that way you're going to be the water guy or woman, although you're helping lift them with some water. I promise you it's really nice and beautiful. You be that kind of person who understands. You be a better person for it. You be a better person about what you're doing. You're looking inside. You're growing from within. You're finding the answers from within. I realize that when a rich person who is, let's say, just financially rich, you have to understand that is a scam. You have to understand that when you're a financially rich person who is making other people work for you because of your money, you have to understand that real estate and all of this economic stuff is a scam. I promise you that the real way to build wealth is from the inside out. I need you to understand it's never about the money. I need you to understand it's really about the skills you have. And the more discipline you have, I promise you the more wealth you have. I promise you one way to increase your capital today is stay away from the drugs. You'll make $7,000 more. I promise you that's a nice way to boost your life. You understand? So what grows your life is going to be the ultimate investment. And information is one. And another one is also making sure that you're around better people and also around better nutrition, knowledge in terms of life, and making sure you're away from anything that's disturbing you, like, for example, it may be chemicals and it may be also certain places in life. You stay away from them, you understand? So make sure that you understand that it's never about making cash flow with real estate, and it's never about making money with 9-to-5 job. And you should understand that's a trap. And you should understand that when they accumulate real estate, I need you to understand what they're doing. And you should understand they're always looking for more real estate. And I promise you they're looking for more money. I promise you that will never satisfy you. I promise you what will satisfy you is enough money so that you can live for free, and that's it. I promise you it can be $1 million in your lifetime. I promise you you'll live a beautiful life. Understand? So realize it's never about $1 billion and $50 billion. Realize it's about enough money. Realize when you have more enough, I promise you have freedom. I promise you anything that gives you freedom, you go that way, because that way you're going to look within yourself. You're going to realize that when somebody does a comeback in tennis, I promise you they're going within and they're finding the strength to be able to win the game. You understand? So realize it's never a competition either. You have to understand it's never about sport. I need you to understand it's about health. I need you to understand that when you win, you're never competing against other people like they are in sport. I need you to understand that's lunatic fringe. You understand? I need you to understand it's never sport that matters. I need you to understand what matters is health. And you're never looking to dominate other people like they do in sport. I need you to understand when it's tennis and 1v1 type of stuff, and I need you to understand it's never about that. I need you to understand what it's about is leading everybody. I need you to understand it's never 1v1. I need you to understand it's never 1v10. I need you to understand it's really, they understand it's never about sport. I need you to understand it's about health. And those people have health are going to lift others to have health. I promise you that's the best togetherness that we can do. I need you to understand you go look from within and you find the strength within to give yourself a beautiful video, because each and every time your emotions are going to give you the skills and ideas that you need. So you look inside for that. You look inside for what you need, and each and every time you're always going to be much more confident because you're using your emotions in front of people and you're tensing in front of people, and guess what? You can go give your video. You can go do some nice, beautiful public speaking in front of people, and you do it your whole life, because that's a beautiful opportunity to be able to promote your Instagram every single day. Understand? I need you to understand when you're promoting yourself, you're doing something special for yourself in a better way. You have to understand that those people who can speak, you must be able to take action upon it, and you must be able to look inside for that strength that you need each and every day and better your life. I need you to understand you use your emotions every single day to better your life in a way that you're writing more or that you're feeling more, and you're making sure that you eat better throughout time. You're eating better, you're reading better, you're reading more throughout time. You push yourself with your emotions to go and read. You push yourself with your emotions to go and speak. You push yourself with your emotions to do anything. You push yourself with your emotions to get out of the 9-to-5 job, and then you go and have more energy. And to realize that, for example, I was fat before. I realized I had no energy. I was never pushing myself with my emotions. You have to realize that eventually I started slow. I started so slow. You have to understand, I started to walk the block. I said to my biological dad, this is the last day I'd smoke cigarettes. I promise you, 2 years later, I'm still smoke free. You understand? Because I started to walk the block. I realized that he was saying, yeah. I realized that, I realized no, I quit cigarettes. You understand? So I realized that when somebody discourages you, you find encouragement from within. You find inspiration from within. You find motivation and discipline and everything that you need from within, although you have to plan it. You have to really understand that planning is writing it down. You have to write your thoughts down. You have to write everything down. I promise you, if you're not writing things down, you're going to lose. I promise you're going to lose in the long term. You have to write it down. I'm writing this down. I'm writing this video down. I'm writing everything that I have down. Because that way I'm learning something. I'm growing something. I'm growing you. I'm growing myself. I promise you, that's the whole point. I realize I'm more like a better person, you understand? Because guess what? For example, Mother Teresa, I promise you, she's a person that goes and does everything for free, and she'll give you I promise you, she'll give you her heart, and she'll do it for free, and she'll understand that she'll never ask you for anything. You understand? Because she'll only give you the information about everything for free. You understand? I promise you, she's a free woman. You understand? So you got to be a free man or woman, and you be a baby about it. You understand? You be a baby all the time. You age better. You understand? You're never aging older, and you're never old throughout time. You're younger throughout time. You understand? You're growing younger, and you're looking for younger ways of living. You understand? You're looking to make sure that you are putting barriers in place, so you understand that you have more energy. So one barrier is get away from the 9 to 5 and you have 40 hours extra to live life. I mean, that's how simple it is. I promise you that 40 hours of your life is worth more than $800 a week, you understand? So realize that most people are making $1 million a day, you understand? I promise you can do the same. You have to understand that it's really that you understand you can do anything from the within. You can do anything from inside. I promise you, it's inside that matters, and inside is the power. You have to understand that when, for example, you look at Goku in the Dragon Ball Z, I promise you that he fights Frieza, and guess what happens? He goes Super Saiyan. And how did he go Super Saiyan? I promise you, he went Super Saiyan because he was looking within. I promise you, he was saying a lot of stuff to make sure that no matter what, you understand that you level up in a way that you become a Super Saiyan. You become a Super Saiyan 2, you become a Super Saiyan 3, you become a Super Saiyan 4, and then a 5 and a 6. And so you're always leveling up. You have to understand, you be that type of person who has the strength within you every single day to make sure that you have more energy. I promise you, more energy is more life force. And the more life force you have, I promise you, the more sex drive you have, and the more energy and peak performance and mentality and confidence and courage and enthusiasm and charisma and everything that you ever need. You understand? So be that kind of person who understands that when you're too much into a relationship with other people, you have to understand that it's really that you can become inside a divorce with those people. So realize that you grow yourself anyway. So you understand that if they divorce you and cheat on you, you understand that you're never hurt about it because you're unshakable. You understand? You're looking from within, and nothing can hurt you, even when your wife or husband cheat on you. You understand? So realize that people do cheat on other people. You understand that you just be a person who's better for it in terms of life. You understand? You be a better person. You never let anything affect you. You never let construction sites affect you. Why would you even be there doing a hammer all day? You understand? I mean, that's going to hurt you all day. You understand? And you should realize that when you're doing this with a hammer all day, I realize that you're going to kill your arm. You understand? You go do something smarter than that. You go do speaking. You go do public speaking. You go do something motivational. You go do something that's really going to help you. You go do something from within. You go do something that's really going to help you to have more health and more wealth. And you realize something. How are you? Would you like to ask a question?
I would like to play. This is my sport. I play every night here.
I see. I see. I've seen you before. I just came here because you were never here.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
How long are you going to be?
I can be here for the next. I have to be here for the next 40 minutes.
No problem.
I can be here.
No, just tell me 1 hour.
I do this video every single hour, and at the moment it's at 20 minutes. So every hour.
Tomorrow you coming?
I come here every day. So I come here every day.
I didn't see you every day.
I came here last night. I came here the night before around 3:30.
Usually you have to show the spot because this is. I've been playing here since 2 months.
I understand.
Every night.
I understand. I'll be here. I'll be here again. Yeah.
Can you tell me what time you feel?
I'll be in 40 minutes. I'll be at 7 o'clock. I'll be done.
Because like me, I make a living out of this.
I understand. I make myself grow out of this. I'm doing something.
Tomorrow you tell me what time you come.
I'll be here at 3:30. I'll be here at 3:30.
3:30 true?
Around 7.
Can I ask you something? Me, I don't come here in the daytime. I come here from 5 o'clock on.
I see.
So you can stay here the whole day. As soon as you give me like 5 to on, so I can make a living.
I see. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that.
No problem.
I can come at 2 o'clock. It's no problem.
Because me 5:30, it's when I come and play.
I can do that. I can do that.
All day, it's your sport.
I can do it. I can do
So
it.
we can share it.
I can do it.
And then I see you, and you wait for me.
I understand. I understand. Thank you very much, boss. I'll come here at 2 o'clock then. I'll finish at 5.
Come anytime, daytime, I'm not here.
I understand.
Because this is my night time.
I realized today I came at 3:30 and I have to finish 3 hours today of video work, and then I'll come at 2 o'clock tomorrow and I'll finish at 5.
Yeah, I usually come 5 to me it's okay.
I have no problem. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, half an hour now?
I can do another 40 minutes and I'll just relax and I'll go. I realize at 7 o'clock I'll be
40
done.
minutes. 40 minutes.
I'll be done at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
I thank you very much. I thank you. I realize no matter what, guys, I thank you very much. I realize that we understand that when somebody else is trying to perform here, we understand that no matter what, I took the guy's spot, although I understand that it's a free spot, and I understand I came first, and that way you understand that you have to share sometimes. And when you're sharing, you understand that you come into a conclusion where you understand that person is going to come here at a certain time, and you be there before that, and then you'll understand you go and do your work before he comes, and that way you understand that he's going to respect me now, and he's going to go away because he's going to play his music at a certain time after I finish, and that you'll understand that from this point on, I will be going and doing something better, and I'll make sure to arrive here at 2 o'clock instead of 3:30, and that way, by the time he comes, I promise you I'll be gone, and that way he will never play music over my video, and I will also never talk over his music. So you understand that you need to compromise. You need to compromise with life. You have to understand that when a person is going to come here at 5 o'clock, you have to be there before, and you have to understand that when you are a person giving an offer, such as, I'll be here at a certain time, like 5 o'clock, because the guy's making a living, and you have to understand that it's really about both ways and what's going to grow us. And it's never about his way or my way. You have to understand it's really about what's great for both of us in order to make sure that we can grow together. Understand? So, in order for this nice, beautiful way, I realized I was in emotions while I was speaking with him, and I realized that when you're in emotions when you're in the motions, speaking with people and doing something amazing, you understand that whatever happens, that somebody's going to say, are you able to come at 2 o'clock and finish at 5 while I come at 5 to 7 or 8? And that way you understand that you go and do your work and you have all day to make sure that you can be here. And I realized, as the guy said, I give you all day to make sure you can come over here. I just realized that you just give me after 5 to make sure I can get here, although I'm here already. You have to understand that you never speak for other people, although you understand that you go to speak for something greater, and that way you understand that whatever happens, I almost lost, because guess what? It's really about I in the process, and in that I realized that I never die. I realized that you have to understand, you never speak about other people and how they speak, you just realize that you go give examples based on what is going to work. And when you're working with other people, you have to understand that compromise means what's going to work for both of us so we can both grow. Understand? So realize that compromising is also in terms of relationships and marriage. I realize that when your wife or husband doesn't want to go where you need to go, you have to realize that you have to make a compromise in order to get where they need to go, and also where you need to go at the same time, to make sure it works for you both. So make sure that you're always adapting toward life. I promise you, every single day I adapt to life. I make sure I never repeat other people's words, because other people's words are never to be repeated. I have to understand it's really about never copying other people. You never copy about what somebody said word for word. You have to understand it's really that you understand that you go and read upon how you can speak better and do anything better. I realize that you have to do everything better, and that way you understand that when you're a person who has I in text, and I is something that you can understand that is I. You understand? Because I have a dream, and that way you understand that you're going to grow. You're going to grow together because you have an I, and I makes we. You understand? I makes everything. And you understand that those people who have I are always looking within. I'm always looking within because I have true capabilities from within. I'll never find them in other people. I'll never find my opportunity in other people. You have to understand that when somebody's making a living on the street, you have to understand that you are also doing something on the street that's making your living come true, because your living is for free. You're living for free, you're doing for free, you're doing something for the long term. Understand? Because the long term aspects of life is long term being in the moment and making sure that you can see everything in this moment. You can see the next 73 years of your life in this moment right now, and it's really based on your habits. And if you're not bettering yourself, I promise you, your next 73 years looks as good as this. And so make sure you're bettering yourself, and your next 73 years is going to look better than this. And that way you understand how to plan. I realize that planning is really, you plan with the emotions and you plan from within. I promise you plan, you can tense up, and you can also write while you're tense up, or you can write while you let go. You can let go of your emotions and you can write. or you can just use your mindset. I promise you, when a person has no energy up here, in terms of mindset, you go and use your body's energy as Tony Robbins says. You have to understand that your body has energy, so you have to use it every single day. And you make sure every single day you use it, and that way you understand that you will be better. You understand that those people who use much more energy in terms of their body are the ones doing far more. I realize that when a person who needs pleasure, you go and let go, and you tense up, and you let go, and you realize that you have no pleasure at all in life. I never need you to have pleasure, because pleasure will never get you anywhere. You have to understand that those people who understand life are the ones who are doing better. You need to do better every single day so you can understand what's important. You need to be important every single day. You need to do something far greater than everybody else. So what you're going to do today, you have to go within. You have to understand that within is something that's really never going to die. I realize that within is never going to die, because when you're looking within, you'll find a way to make sure that you never die, although dying is a part of life. You have to understand that each time, I realize that each and every time I grow, I'm dying from within. Although you have to realize I'm really growing. I'm growing from within. You have to realize when you're growing, you're never dying. You never die when you're growing. You have to understand when you're growing though, you will become a newer person in the process. And that's the whole point of changing and adapting and speed and learning quickly and making sure that you're setting yourself up for success. Because those people who schedule a better way are the ones who are living a better way today. And you have to understand where there is a way, there is a will. So make sure that you have a will today that is really strong, that you understand that when you're strong-willed, you understand you have to be a strong grower in the same process. You understand that strong-willed people must urge themselves to grow. You have to urge yourself to grow. You have to understand that you need to push yourself to grow, because growth doesn't just happen. You understand? You push yourself to grow. I mean, skills and learning and reading books doesn't just happen. You understand? You have to push yourself into it. You have to push yourself in life to grow and learn and be a leader and also communicate 3 hours a day, such as I. You understand? So each and every day I push myself to grow in cameras for 3 hours. You understand? So that way I'm a grower, I'm a doer, I'm doing something to give you some ideas. I'm doing something for nothing. I realize that I do something that's my passion. I promise you that's all the money in the world. I promise you I get to do my passion every single day. I get to do something that's really passionate, and that way I'm a passionate person, like a dog. You understand? I'm like a dog, although I'm better than a dog. I'm better than who I am. I'm better than this world. I'm richer, better. And you understand that you find compromise in materials in terms of what's going to help you, which is going within, and you understand you're going to be a better person in the process. You understand that when people approach you, you stop your camera or your video, and you make sure that you keep recording whatever, because you are worth recording. You understand? You have to record yourself more and more throughout time, and that way you'll be a better person. You'll be a better person in your life. You'll do something far greater, and you understand that life is always worth it when you are worth it. You understand? You have to be worth it much more than today. You have to be much more worth it today, so you can realize that life is to be lived within. You understand? You live within. You do something from within today. You have fire in you. That is passion. You have to understand. Passion is also fire that's going to help you to ignite your fire within you and unleash the beast within you to make sure that you're always going to grow up much better. You're going to grow up today. You're going to grow up and you're going to become a mature person today, much more than yesterday. And that's the whole point. Promotion maturity is all to do with emotional intelligence, and those people who understand EQ are the ones who are able to live in the feelings, and you live in your feelings each and every day. Understand? You're living your feelings more and more, and you're bettering your life more and more. You're doing something more and more to make sure that your feelings are going to feel better and better and better throughout time, while you're communicating more and more and more throughout time, and you use your journal to communicate and feel and use your mindset every single day to plan and strategize your success every single day, because you have to look from within to make sure that you're looking for those ideas, so you can understand that growth happens now and in the moment. So you give more ideas, you understand, you give more ideas, and you encourage people to understand much greater. And to understand that those people who are passionate about what they're doing are the ones who are doing something amazing today. And the ones who are doing something amazing are the ones who are more passionate about what they're doing. So make sure you're a more passionate person, you're doing something much more greater, you're doing something that's really going to help you, and that way you understand that you never be scared. You have to understand you just live in your feelings, because there's nothing to fear. You have to understand it's about exposing yourself and getting to the spotlight today. You have to understand you do something today that's going to help you get into the spotlight. You have to understand that long term, you win. I promise you win in front of a spotlight. I promise you when you get into a spotlight in front of people, you win long term. And saying you win long term, because it's about long term perspective. I promise you now, You may look at me now doing these street performances now, although over the next 73 years, do you think I'll still be doing this? I'll still be doing this. I'll still be doing this in a different way. You understand? So make sure you understand that you go and do better. You understand? You go do better and better and better, and that way you're going to look for within. You're going to understand that motivation never comes from other people. I promise you, motivation comes from within. As I understand that power comes from within. And you should understand that riches come from within. And you should understand that health comes from within. And you should understand that mindset, mentality, and feeling and everything in life comes from within. And you should understand when love, I promise you, when you're looking for love, you're looking from within. I promise you, when love arrives, you'll find yourself in love inside of you. Understand? So realize that today, you understand that each and every word you're giving is an abbreviation and technique and tactic, and you're planning and strategizing and business strategies you're doing every single day. So you understand that business strategies has everything to do with constructive planning, which is building your inner world. And when you're building your inner world, you're the person who's building that house of bricks. You understand? Because house of bricks is made from within. And you have to understand that people who have house of sticks and house of straws are the ones looking outside for other people to build it for them. You understand? So never be that person. I need you to be the pig who has house of bricks, because house of bricks is a person who's writing it down every single day and making sure they're constructing and planning around their life and about their 24-hour schedule, and making sure that at this certain time they'll be doing this because of these reasons. And then you're going to construct and plan from within, and you're going to look for the answers from within, because there's no answers out there that's going to help you. And you should understand, it's all from within. You have to take more responsibility, because those people who are looking from within are the ones who are taking more accountability and ownership of their life. I realize that nobody's going to help you to grow. I need you to understand that growing comes from within. I need you to understand that whatever you're trying to look for and do in life, you can do it from within. You can never do it without. You understand? You can never do it without, because without is to look outside. I never need you to look outside there. I need you to understand it's all coming from within. And you focus on your inner world, because that's how you do self-love. You do self-love from inside. You never do it from outside. You find awareness inside. You never look from outside. You understand? You're looking inside out. You're never looking outside in. I promise you, you never look outside in, because when you look outside in, you lose yourself. I need you to understand that when you look outside, you'll be a person who's lacking. I never need you to lack. I need you to understand you're looking inside. I'm never outside in life. I'm never looking outside. I'm looking inside only. I need you to understand that when you're looking at people's skin, you're looking at people outside. I need you to look at your own skin instead. I need you to look inside, because your inside is much better than what's outside. You understand? I need you to understand that inside you have everything. I need you to understand when you're looking at your own skin, I promise you it's much better than looking at other people's skin. And so be a person who's looking at yourself much more in the mirror. And one way is do a 3-hour video every single day. In a sense, so you understand that each and every time you're doing something amazing, you're doing it from the inside, you're finding the strength within you to make sure that no matter what happens, you're going to be a positive person, you're going to feel better throughout time, and you're going to understand that whatever happens, you're going to do something much better than yesterday, and that way you're going to lift up and you're going to do much better. In a sense, so be that kind of person who realize you be that kind of person who understands a better way, because the better way is the ultimate way. And the ultimate road to success means goes inside. You understand? You have to understand, when you're a person who has the ultimate road to success, you're a person who is looking inside for everything that you need. You have to understand that each and every time you're a person who understands something much greater than you look inside for it. You understand that inside is the way to go. You have to understand that those people who are having a much more successful life are also much more spiritual, and are people who are taking more action. And to take action is to look inside much greater than yesterday. You have to understand it's really about planning. You have to strategize, you have to market, you have to sell. I realize that sales has everything to do with freedom. And the people who give something for nothing, and I realize they make an irresistible offer, such as Brian Tracy says, you understand that you will be a person who's giving a resistible offer, and that way you understand that it's freedom where you're giving your content for free, and that way they can never say no. Understand? So be a person who understands to give something for nothing, where somebody will never reject it. Understand? And that way you understand it's something special that's going to help somebody to succeed, and that somebody is you. You have to understand you're giving it, and you're giving your whole heart. You understand? So you're giving your whole heart. You understand that when you're giving something, you're giving it for free, and that way you're abundant, you're rich, and you're rich from inside. You're never rich in other people. I realize you never lose yourself in other people, you lose yourself inside. You lose yourself inside of you. You have to understand when you're doing that, you're going to be a person who's far greater than yesterday, and then you're going to realize that no matter what, you're going to do something today that's really going to help you. and to realize you always show up for success, you're doing something really much more talented than everybody else, because you have to be more talented than everybody else to make sure that you stand out. You have to stand out and do something today that's going to make you much more of who you need to be. You have to become more, you have to do more, you have to realize it's really about your communication skills and how you're really bringing it every single day and how you're really doing it in a different way. Understand? Because each and every time you teach yourself to communicate in a different way and you push yourself in a different way to do something, I promise you it's worth it. I promise you it's worth to encourage yourself daily to make sure that you're lifting. In a sense, so be a person who listens in dialogue, you're listening to what the other person needs, and then you're finding a compromise to make sure that you're growing. In a sense, you're growing in the process of dialogue. I promise you the whole point of dialogue is to make yourself and another person grow. And that's called solutions. In a sense, you're problem solving along the way, and you understand that you resolve it, and to resolve something is to solve it. And when you're resolving, you're also a solutionist. And you have to understand that in order to have a long marriage or a long relationship with someone, you have to resolve all the time. And you have to be a public speaker and also make sure that you're solving problems all the time. You're always a person resolving and making sure that everybody's growing in the process. Because that's how you understand that marriages work and everything works when you're resolving the issues. And that way you understand you clear the issues. I mean, we have 10 problems, you remove them. I mean, that's the easiest way to make sure that you're living your life much better. You remove all the problems from your life, and that way you have the solutions. You understand? I mean, when alcohol is a problem, you stay away from alcohol. I mean, when this person is a problem, you stay away from this problem. You have to understand that you stay away from problems. I never need you around problems. I never need you to be a person who's suffering. I need you to stay away from suffering. I don't know what's making you suffering. You have to understand that drugs can be making you suffer. You stay away from drugs. I promise you, you'll solve a problem. You understand? I promise you, it's that easy. I never need you to follow the crowd. I understand your mum or dad may be drinking alcohol. I promise you, that is always never the way. You understand? Because who's inspirational are the ones who are leading much more and growing much more. I realize that your parents may be growing up to a certain point, and that's it. I realize that you have to keep growing far more. You understand? So be a person who understands that most people are going to delift you, and they're going to, I realize they're going to be uninspiring. So be the one inspiring them. You understand? And that way you're going to understand you're always going to have somebody in your life inspiring you, which is you. You understand? So look for within. I realize you look within for everything that you need. And that way you understand you need to give more ideas. And you need to be more emotional in the way that you're going to grow. You have to push yourself to grow. You have to realize it's intentional growth and it happens from within. I have to look within for all these ideas. And my ideas come to me because my emotions are full of ideas. I'm full of ideas to give you. I realize that I have to speak every single word in a better way. I have to realize that I focus one word at a time before I even say my next sentence. I realize I've just focused on this sentence right over here, and then I realize I just move on. I move on, and I move on, and I get more excited this time because I just picked up the thought, which is get more excited, and then I just say it. I just say it in a way that I'm going to grow, and that way I understand the more you speak, I promise you the words just come to you. I promise you it's that easy. I promise you it's that easy to spin your propeller. You have to understand that you go and travel the world, you go and bring a speaker everywhere, you go anywhere around the world, and you go and do a street performance. You understand? You go and do it anywhere. You have to understand, I'll be doing it in Australia for the next 73 years. You have to understand, that is what I do. You have to understand, you have to build your attention somehow, so you go and make and do whatever you can to do much better than yesterday, because that's the whole point. I realize that if nobody follows you after 50 million hours of content, I promise you they never deserve it. You understand? I promise you do 50 hours of content, probably they never deserve it if they never watch it. In a sense, so be a person who realizes you're going to make 50 million hours of videos and courses, and that way you're going to be a better person for it, and you understand you're going to lift, you're going to do something really foundational, and you're going to grow in the process, and that's the whole point. You grow in the process of living right now. Understand? So you're living right now. You have to understand that most people never listen to what I say over here. I mean, they see me and that is it. You have to understand that the whole point of me being here is that I'm promoting my beautiful post over here for 3 hours while I'm also doing my content, which is the most important. Understand? So the whole point of me being here is to make sure I do my 3 hours for the day in terms of my videos and promote my Instagram for 3 hours, and that's it. Otherwise, I came here for that. I never came, I also came here for that, and also to make sure that people can see me. Otherwise, that people can see me in real life. So it's different that when people are looking at you and you have also promoted, I realize that you're promoting your Instagram and people can see you, and you're also doing 3 hours of content every day is the growth. You understand? So you need to do that also. You need to realize that you need to do something today and succeed. I realize that your friends are never going to support you when you're on the street and doing street performance. I promise you. I promise you, it may be your wife or husband who supports you and your kids, although you understand that most people are working the 9-to-5 job and they're away from you. And so you need to realize that once you travel the world, you're flying on the jet, you're doing something amazing, you have to realize that you just be a person who's doing better and better and better, and you'll get there. You'll do something amazing to get there. You have to understand it's really that other people are going to give you a free jet when you are worth it so much, in a sense. So realize you'll be so worth it, and that way, I realize that way you'll have the worth it lifestyle, and you'll be well known, and you'll be a celebrity, and you'll be somebody in Australia, or you'll be someone. I realize that you'll be somebody around the world somewhere. So you have to understand you go to be somebody every single day. And that way, it comes from within to be somebody. You have to call yourself somebody every day. I realize that when 99 people are saying you're a nobody, you be the one saying I'm a somebody. I realize that's the difference in belief and perspective. You have to understand that when the world and 99 people of the world are delifting you, you be the one who's uplifting 99 of the people. And so you lift the whole world and you'll be lifted, and that way you understand the ground you walk on, you'll be grateful for it. In a sense, so be that type of person who understands you're going to do something today to have immense strength. You're going to do something really incredible. You're going to find within to make sure that you can do those muscle building. You understand? You have to look from within. You have to look at yourself from within. You have to understand that from within you'll find everything that you ever need. You'll find what you need from within. You'll find your mental strength from within. You'll find everything in terms of love from within. You'll find the joy within. You'll find anything in terms of the outside world. You'll find it within. In a sense, so look within for it, and that way you understand that you never need the outside world. I promise you, what you need is yourself inside. You need to be inside to really live life much greater. You need to be inside to do something much greater than you are. And to realize it's really make sure that you're using your emotions. You're measuring up to yourself every single day. You're using your emotions in a way. You're measuring up a better way. You have to understand you're leveling up every single day in terms of your communication and on video, and you're doing something around your advertisements. And each and every time I do a nice, beautiful promotion, I also look at the results. I see the results. I realize that results is 21 hours in front of people and 21 hours of video in 7 days. I realize that is amazing. I realize I lost nothing. I just gained. I gained more confidence in front of people. I gained more attention. I also gained what I need in terms of video content and courses and also communication skills. I realize I'm winning the lottery over here. Understand? So that is the whole point of being on the street. You have to understand the point of being on the street is get the attention and speak for 3 hours in front of people and record it, and also promote your Instagram for 3 hours every single day, and get the technology that you need to make sure that you can always speak and do your work anywhere around the world. I promise you that's what it's all about. And you should understand that when people never believe in you and what you've done, I promise you they never deserve you and your content and what you give. And so realize that when people are so smart to realize that they never need you, realize that you never need them. In a sense, so be a person who understands you need yourself more than them, and that way you understand you have more confidence, because when you need somebody else more than you, you're losing in life. I never need you to lose. I need you to realize that you never ever be a poker player or something of a gambler in your life. I never need you to gamble. And you should understand you go and invest your money in a better way, and you understand you have more money in the process. You understand? Because I only have 2 subscriptions in life. I only have the Mega Drive subscription, which helps you to see this content, and also Spotify, which is my music love. I'm a music lover, so I listen to music daily, and you understand that I get myself data every single month, whatever. I realize that whatever means that I never say whatever ever again. So that way you understand that when you say whatever, you become lazy. You understand, you be a person who owns up to your mistakes in terms of your communication, and better yourself, and make sure that you understand to teach people what whatever means. I realize that when you say whatever, I realize you get lazy about it. Instead, you never say whatever then. I realize you stop doing what makes you lazy. You stop being a couch potato. You stop the Netflix. I realize Netflix is never going to help you. I realize that movies and cinemas is never going to help you. You have to understand that what helps you is self-education. I need you to understand that what helps you is something to recognize inside of yourself. I need you to understand that being single helps you more than being in a relationship with another person. I need you to understand that you'll be far greater alone than with another person. I promise you that you'll be far greater alone. I promise you, no matter what, I've always managed to overcome my demons alone rather than with other people. You understand? I'm always a person who understands that when you have a girlfriend or wife or husband, you have to be with them 50 hours a week. You understand? When you're single, you can go anywhere. You understand? You can leave. You can just go. You just go. You don't have to carry them along with you. You don't have to carry kids along with you. You understand? Because you're just single. You just go. You just go wherever. And so you're free to do whatever you need. And so you're free. You're not attached to somebody. And so that's the benefit of being single. You understand? So be grateful for it when you're single. Understand? I mean, when you have a wife or kids or husband, I promise you at that point, you must be at a certain point in your life where you're financially free and also have emotional freedom and personal freedom to make sure that you can carry your wife or husband along, so you understand that you need to carry your kids and make sure that you are bettering them at the same time. Understand? Because the only way you can do that is to look within for everything that you ever need. You never look to your kids to help you. You never look to anybody to help you. You look within. You help yourself. Understand? You help yourself. I mean, when you come to the table, you come from within and you say, what ideas are we getting over here? I mean, what are we going to do today to better our lives? You have to understand, you sit with your family all the time on the table and say, what are we doing today to succeed? Understand? You be that kind of person. You plan for your family for something greater. You plan for something greater only. You never plan for anybody else except for something greater. And I said, so something greater means do better than yesterday. I mean, you have to realize that the outside world lies so much about what they love. You understand? I mean, the outside world lies about everything. You have to understand, you never lie, you go inside, and that way you understand, you never believe the outside world. You believe yourself in something greater, you believe something greater only, and that's it. You never believe the outside world. You believe what's inside, and what's inside must be greater. And you believe in greatness, and you believe in something greater. You believe in something greater only. I promise you, that way, you'll never ever be disappointed. I promise you, I never have to approach other people because I see rejection straight away. I never have to approach them because I see arrogant people when I approach people. In a sense, so I let them approach me. Because that way, I never need to talk to them. I never talk to people. I never talk to them because I just talk to myself all day long. In a sense, I promise you, I live in that kind of world. So I'm just a person who's reading a lot from other people, although I never talk to them. In a sense, so that way I understand I'm more peace and quiet that way. I never have to be around a crowd where I have to follow certain boys or girls, and I never have to follow them in life. Well, I used to follow the crowd when I was 13 and 15 and 16 and 17. You understand? I used to follow them. I used to follow them where they're going. Or else I used to always be the lowest person in the crowd. You understand? I mean, they're always kicking me down. You understand? They are cousins and brothers, and they say, this guy's the smallest of us. You understand? I used to be the smallest of them. And then guess what? I realized that a certain point came and this person attacked me, and guess what? I left the crowd. You understand? I left them, and guess what? I got never attacked again. You understand? So the person never has to get attacked and never be around people who are attacking you. You understand? So never be a victim. You understand? And never keep on escalating victimness and never talk about victim mentality. You understand? I promise you, victim mentality people are ones who say, he hit me. I never need you to say that he hit you. I need you to understand, you have to say, I removed who hit me. And I promise you, that's more positive than talking about those people who hit you. You understand? Because why did you allow it for? You understand? I mean, you were with the person. You were with the person for that long, and they were hitting you and beating you, and then why are you with them for? Understand? So you're the person who you choose to be with. So you have to understand that when you choose much better to be with a better person, you understand you're growing. You grow, and every day you're learning, you're growing, you're always foundational, you're doing something, you're pushing your emotions, you're pushing through the communication, you're pushing, and you're breaking barriers inside of your mindset, and you're making sure that the words are just coming out, and making sure you're using your emotions to pound those words outside of you, so that you understand that the words are coming inside of you, although you're pushing your communication, you're pushing the expression of communication to make sure that you can just communicate more and more and more and more. Understand? You're pushing it. You're pushing yourself to grow. You're pushing yourself to grow every single day. I promise you, here I am, and tens and thousands of people have seen me over the I realize they've seen me over the past 7 days. I have to understand what's changed. I realize it's 21 hours or 7 hours on the street. You understand? So you'll realize once you've watched my 21 hours after this video. You understand? So just realize that each and every time you do it, you push into it, you realize it's worth it. You understand? I realize it's different how I start my videos today from how I really started 3 years ago. Or as I started in my room inside Sydney 3 years ago, and here I am in Brisbane now with a 1-bedroom apartment, and I can do my street performance every day for 3 hours. Or I was like, I can live life, I can go anywhere for free. Understand? I can go anywhere for free because I let myself do it every single day better. I make sure I'm always much more motivated, I'm doing something much more, and I realize that nobody else needs you to succeed more than them, and that's why they never follow me, you understand? Because they're always jealous people, you understand? I'm a person who's far more successful, I'm a person who realizes that I'm not stupid, you understand? I'm the smartest, and that's why I succeed so much, because guess what? I deserve success. I deserve to live my life much better, you understand? Because what separates us is the ego mind, and many people are egotistical, and that's why they never follow you, and I promise you, they never encourage you because they're so egotistical, understand, and they think they know it all in life. I just understand, you stay away from the egotistical people, and I stay away from most people on the planet, and so I stay away from them. Understand, I just go do my business, and I realise I go around the best people who teach me something and who have smaller egos in life. I never need the crowd from the past. I realise those people really tried to kick me down, and guess what? I rose anyway. You have to understand that when people try to kick you down, you stay away from them. I ran away from them. I realised I ran away from them. And you have to understand, I'm not scared of them, although you understand that I have better in place and in store for in terms of something greater. You have to understand that when you're a victim, you never be a victim, you never be a person who's violent, and you be a person who's never going to jail. And that way you understand that you're going from within, you're looking for something from within, you're understanding that life is now, you'll do something special, you'll do something much greater, and that way you'll always make sure to love life greater. You have to understand that when you're doing some content here, use your emotions, please, and that way you understand you're going to be a greater person for it. You're going to do something much greater. You're going to be the next big thing, which is now. You have to understand you're always the big thing now, which is something better than big. You understand? So be something better than big, and realize that when the outside world is having too much fun, I realize you never need fun. You never focus on them and what they're doing. You never focus on outside crowds and what they're doing today. I realize they're doing nothing today. I realize they're doing nothing today. I realize what you're doing is more important than them. In a sense, so you focus on yourself every day. You focus on yourself, and you focus on yourself, and you focus on yourself. You understand? You focus on yourself and what you have to say. You focus on yourself and what you have to say, because that's all that's important. You understand? You have to understand that you never be limited by other people. You never be focused on other people. You focus on yourself more, and that way you're going to give yourself more self-love, and that's coming from within. You understand? Because you're focusing on yourself, and when you focus on yourself, you're going within. You're going from within for all that self-love and self-awareness that you need. And when you're writing more, you'll be more aware about your life. You have to understand, I'm not sick, I'm richer better, and that way I prevent sickness all the time. I realize that you'll be a person who understands what life is. You'll be a person who really is, let's say, having more of a pause, and you understand, you continue your video, and that way you understand, you be calm all your life. You have calmness, you have a serenity, you have tranquility, you have something of peace and quiet inside of you. I promise you that's much more than a nightclub. I promise you it's much more than alcohol and being around loud people. I never need you around loud people. I need you around people who are really much more foundational and have much more to give. I need you to be around surplus people and given people who treasure life and who give much more and who are more grateful and who are promoting themselves more and who have something more to say. I just understand you're going to do that every single day. You create a hype about yourself every single day. I promise you do it in one area all your life, and you'll be promoted in one area, and that way you understand that no matter what, you go and gather results every single day in a different manner. You go and do something that you've never done, and that way you understand that you go and build your emotional strength. You be a better person, and you push with your emotions now with your communication. I promise you it gets easier and easier and easier over time to speak with people and to speak around people, because you're pushing your emotions to do so. You're pushing your emotions to speak, and that way you can understand to find the words, because your emotions can always find the words. You can always find the words with your feeling. I mean, when you let go, you can also find the words to say, because you're just letting go and you allow yourself to fail. And you understand that when you fail, it's really that you need better communication anyway. And you understand that you go and be a person today who's going to write more today, and that way you understand you have more emotional strength, and you have more mentality, and you have more consciousness, and you'll do something today that's far greater than everybody else. I mean, you write 30,000 words a day about yourself today. I promise you, you're going within to find what to say, and that way you're going to find something to say, and you'll find something to say, and you'll find something to say, and you'll find something to say, and that way you roll with it, and the more you give, the more you get. You understand? So it's all about rotating that communication and putting out those thoughts that you have. You understand? So that way you're going to transcribe into a better way, and you're going to put into a video, and that way you're never wasting time, because you're a better person. You're doing something and you're practicing. I practice 1 hour the same way Djokovic hits the tennis ball 50,000 times. I realize that every word is me doing this. I realize each and every word I give, I'm always hitting the tennis ball, you understand? So I'm always realizing to practice and practice and practice, because Djokovic can only play tennis for a certain amount of time, understand? In a professional career. I realize he can always play off court, I realize he can always do that for the rest of his life, although you understand that on the pitch, he has to play to a certain age, and a certain age he's going to say, I need you to relax now, I need you to go and do something else now. You understand? So people who are playing sport up to 45, I realized that. After that, I realized they're getting tired. You understand? I realized they're getting much more, let's say, they have to work smarter, although you understand that I realized that with age, you have to slow down the sport because you can get injured. And you understand that what you'll never get injured as, and what will never make you injured is public speaking. And you can always, at 100 years of age, you can be speaking like this, and you can be doing much greater than this. You can always be speaking at 100 years of age and do some nice, beautiful public speaking all your life. You understand? Because that's the best sport in the world. I promise you, the best sport in the world is being better than yesterday. I promise you, just be better than yesterday. I promise you, its growth is the best sport of the world. I promise you, that's much better than golf. I promise you, it's much better than any sport that's competition. I need you to understand that many people love competition, and I promise you, they'll say that golf is the best sport in the world because it's a swing. I realize that speaking is the best sport in the world. You understand? Because guess what? You're never competing with other people. I promise you, what is never competition is the best sport in the world. You understand? So be that person who's in the best competition, which is compete with yourself, and that's the only competition there is. You understand? So my competition today is, guess what? I'm 3 hours better than yesterday. You understand? Because I did some 3 hours of content today. I did some nice, beautiful content today where I said that no matter what, I'm always doing better. I'm always doing it from within, because guess what? You will understand when you go from within, you'll find joy, you'll find some happiness, you'll find the strength and wisdom that you need. You put into a video, you help someone with it, and then guess what? You're done for the day, and guess what? Then you go into accommodation, you schedule it every single day, you do something amazing, and you understand that your life keeps going each and every day. I promise you, when people are laughing at you, I promise you they're laughing at themselves. Understand? Because it's really that you're inspiring yourself every day, and they're laughing at you, inspiring yourself. I promise you, who cares about them? Understand? I care about something greater than them. Understand? So be that type of person who understands that freedom happens now, and when you're a freedom type of person, you're doing something amazing, you're doing something of strength, you're doing something that's worth it, you're doing something that's really going to lift you, and that way you're focused on yourself, you're focused on a higher consciousness, you're leaving room for improvement, you're leaving headroom, and that way you understand that you have no mind. And when you have no mind, you'll be a better person for it. You understand? I promise you, when you be a better person, you'll do something greater. You understand that freedom is happening now, and that way you'll be something even greater than yourself. You're always looking within for everything that you need. You're looking inside for what you need in terms of life, and you'll be a better person in terms of life. You understand? It's really, you go inside and you make sure that you're a positive person, that you need to understand that whatever's happening is for your best interest, and that way you understand that you just lift people in the process. You give people ideas. You do something that's really going to help you. You do something that's really going to give you something of strength. And what's that? You're looking from within. You're looking from within to understand that you're giving all the information that you need every single day to make sure that you're doing something positive. You're doing something amazing. You're doing something that's really going to help you. You're doing something that's really going to make sure that people are getting the wisdom that you have. And that way, when you give them some knowledge and ideas, you understand that knowledge and ideas is wisdom. And the more you read and develop yourself in terms of wisdom and ideas, you understand you're a better person. You'll become more passionate. You'll become much more free. You'll become something for nothing. You'll become something much greater. You understand? Because those people who understand a better life are the ones who are doing much greater. You have to understand, you accomplish your goals. I have more than enough in me to make sure that everything I do is much greater than yesterday, and you just focus on yourself in a way that you understand your video is a much more graceful when you understand you're speaking more and you're connecting more and you're doing something much greater, and you're never distracted by the outside world, and you're never flaunting anybody, although you understand you're lifting them in the process of communication. And that's the whole point of connection. And people who connect more are the ones looking inside, and you're never isolated, although you're isolated inside. And that way you understand that you never need other people to be inside of you. You need to be inside of yourself each and every day, and that way you will lift people and you'll grow toward a better way. You grow in a better way that's going to help you, and that way you understand that whatever's happening is always going to help you to grow. And you have to understand that you help yourself grow more than anybody else, and that way you understand that you never rely on other people to grow you. You're a person who's giving ideas. You're a person who's always never disrupted. You're never negative about what's going on. You just have some patience, and that way you understand that when you have patience, you're never letting anything affect you, and that's why you're looking inside for what you need. You have to understand that in this video I've really explained and I've recapped about how to go within, because when you're going within, you understand that happiness is an inside job. And when you understand happiness, you understand that it's about growth. And growth is happiness. So those people who understand the skills that they need to grow each and every single day are the ones doing it every single day to make sure they boost their knowledge and awareness is knowledge. So realize that each and every single day you do some knowledge today, you'll realize you'll always be a better person for it. You'll always be doing something greater. You'll always be doing something that's really going to help you. And that way, you'll be a better person with a better attitude. And as Dr. Wayne Dyer says, you'll understand that people who have better attitude, I promise you, are the ones who are more successful. And he says also that attitude is all you're selling. I promise you, it's just your communication skills. And the better your communication skills, the more you develop. So be that kind of person who is developing all the time, much more and more. And when people are waiting for you, you have to understand you never make them wait. Or do you understand that you have to do something and just make sure that you're a person who is always doing something. You understand you're doing something and you're making sure that you're lifting, and make sure that you guys understand you're a better person for it, and you'll be a better person in the process of going within. So no matter what, guys, I hope that you guys share my video today. I realize that you guys understand that it's really about nice and a beautiful attitude, and that way you understand you lift yourself in the process and you be something much more special today. Please, I need you to do something kind. I need you to understand it's really about kindness. I need you to understand it's really about getting with the flow in a much better way, and that way you understand you grow yourself today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I realize no matter what, you'll be inspired today. And guys, it's really that you share me around in a better way, because guess what? You're doing it for something greater. And that way you understand that freedom is to be lived now, and you live within, and have yourself a beautiful day.